So, welcome back to Careful Boys. We're very careful boys, and we're currently off the record. Today, we're talking about guys in the dating world. Keep on letting them bitches down.
Bitches are hard to please. What can I say?
Yeah, they are hard to please.
Tell me about that.
As an owner of one,
almost impossible.
I'm a bitch owner too.
Yeah. Bitch owner.
Yeah. You're gonna take some else.
I've owned a few bitches and they're really hard.
Own and operate.
Owner operator.
Owner and operator.
Wow.
You got your Super Bowl ring for your engagement?
Yeah, she's the best.
That's tight.
Be refurbished.
Every 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Or the wear and tear messes with their brain.
You gotta put Freon in it.
What was the question? The real question.
Guys keep on letting all the bitches down in the dating world.
Yeah.
And,
I think it's
and
like-
why come?
Dating is more difficult now.
Yeah.
Difficult as in like it's changing. It's the way that it's been done, just even pre-COVID. I feel like it's changed post-COVID.
How did it change post-COVID in your observations? Because you were actually.
I dated during COVID,
Yeah.
that was already a fucking huge one. Because even if you're on dating apps or anything, like, it's like now you're like, well, should we, meet up during this time? Because it's also it depends if it's like fresh lockdown, right? No one's actually meeting up.
Yeah, that's socially accepted.
Yeah, but toward the end, like everybody was just breaking rules, right?
Yeah.
But in the very beginning, it was just like people were just chatting online or whatever. And then like, I think people had to be good DM game. And then you had long conversations, long talks, whatever. And then like toward the end, it just seemed like everybody was just hooking up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I definitely feel like it changed from like where people did the whole like, let's meet up, let's talk, let's hang out, let's have a good time, let's date. I mean, people still hooked up, but it seemed like more people were having relationships.
What did you do or how did you fuck up, do you think, in your time dating bitches during COVID? Were you dating all these sluts?
I don't know. Maybe dating wasn't the mentality that I had. I do think I had a more hot boy summer mentality.
Okay.
I think.
And you're international too. You're going fucking worldwide, dude.
Sorry.
What's funny?
No, I'm just laughing at Nick.
Nick's face.
Just because you asked that question and you just throw it away. What's it like dating these? How do you fuck up dating these sluts?
doesn't acknowledge it.
Yeah, it just goes into the answer.
Joe's a pro.
Joe's a pro. I'm not a pro.
I'm used to that
Joe's a
shit.
Steve pro, dude.
Yeah.
He's a veteran.
I say yes, we do.
Yeah.
Fuck these hoes. No, maybe more people were just like, I see all these failed relationships around me. What's the point? So you have a bunch of guys that are either just not trying at all,
Like apathy?
or guys that are just like, I just want the pussy. Maybe.
I think it's also.
I think it's more so that either they don't know what they want or they just want to hook up, and very, very few people are intentionally dating
To marry or
goal to
different.
really get to know someone
Yeah.
and find their match.
Yeah.
Aw.
And by the way, look, we titled this video in a juicy way about guys letting bitches down, but it's both people. We know it's both.
Yeah.
Guys letting bitches down.
Yeah. But
Ladies-
we know it's both.
We got to use the clickbait.
Yeah, we gotta use clickbait. But no, so your experience has been similar to that? Like, are guys not trying, or what?
Yeah, I think our majority of them, I think, are more in like the hookup mindset. And I think there are very few select people, I haven't met them yet, that are intentionally dating with the purpose of truly trying to find their match
Do you
and getting to know somebody.
do you think these guys, do they all fit in a certain age group or like maybe even phase in their life? Like have you noticed?
I mean, I don't know.
Filipino or
I
just
can only speak on, like, they're
Filipino boys?
all Filipinos. They're all Chinese. They're all Asian.
Really?
Okay? No.
Asian guys are kind of.
I can only speak on my experience.
Yeah.
But I mean, I date between my age and up, but it's usually I date a little bit older, like at least 3-4 years older.
And they seem like they don't
Yeah,
want
which is crazy. Like,
No.
it's crazy. There's men out there who are 35, 36, 37, who are, I think, have either given up, they have lost all sense of like what it means to be a man, how to like plan a date, how to like actually get to
jaded
know
cops.
somebody, be intentional with their time.
Are you looking for that like traditional kind of like chivalrous dude that like like the dude that plans the date, opens the door, shows up on time? Well, it sounds like just like
traditional
bare
man.
minimum standard.
That's right. That's you know, you would think, oh, I just want a traditional man.
A guy that shows up.
A guy that could show up.
That's crazy.
The guy, I'm wondering what.
I feel like just the standard is just like that's not even a thing anymore.
Minimums anymore.
When you talk to your other girlfriends, are they all experienced? It's like across the board. A lot of dudes are just not even upholding the standard from like 10 years ago.
I mean, the people that I do know are in relationships.
Oh, I see.
So like, but they've been in relationships for years. It's like you guys. You guys have been in a relationship for 7, 8+ years. So it's a little bit different.
I wonder if the guys act like that because they can. Like they're still getting dates, they're still getting girls, and then so they don't have to try, so that they do act like that.
Well, it's also the girl's fault too, and I also think it's maybe a big city thing.
Oh, explain.
I think it's also like partly the women's fault, big city mentality, and social media has a big aspect to do with that as well. Is that these girls are now getting more attention than ever through social media, so they feel like they have more leverage to just go out with these guys, get a free meal, do this, take advantage of them, and now guys are feeling taken advantage of, so they're like, why the fuck am I gonna plan shit for these girls who are just taking advantage of me?
How do I know you're worthy? Yeah.
How do I know you're worthy?
Then why go out on a date?
Right, but it's just like it's one of
Just
those
because he's
things that's
hoping that you're different, but it's like you have to prove it to him.
I mean, my rule of thumb is like if you're searching, if you're intentional and you know what you want and you're searching for that thing, just be that thing. Yeah. Regardless of what you get.
That's
in
really
return.
good advice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so it's like, don't let the world change who you are because you're reacting to, well, all the girls are going to be like this. Well, I'm not going to be like myself anymore.
And don't front because they can smell it, bruh.
But if you're genuinely a kind person that wants to just continuously give and doing that, then it's like, who cares? Then you're not getting burnt if that's who you are.
It's really hard though too, because like, man, you can get defeated really quickly. You know, being that person and just getting taken for granted over and over.
Yeah, every letdown is another.
You know, it's just like, well, damn, like, what am I even doing this
Builds
for?
a jaded defense mechanism around
Yeah,
it.
and then it's just a bunch of jaded people dating other jaded people.
So it's just like a big kind of like
jaded
fucked up
people.
ecosystem.
And you're just trying to pick through the trash and hope that somebody was misplaced.
And you're looking for red flags at that point. You're not looking for anything else.
Yeah.
That's
and
one of the
then,
biggest
and then
things
you're
I've seen.
not in a mindset of like intentionally getting to know somebody because you're just like trying to pick out the red flags.
Yes. I've seen that so much.
It's called Toluca Lake. Yeah.
I
It's
think
called LA.
I do remember the reason why I didn't like dating that much in LA was there was already like this auditioning feeling of, hey, I'm cool, you're cool, we're normal. That, you know, that feeling of like, don't worry, like you gotta pass that phase of like, oh, I'm not gonna fuck you over, of like, and if you're already coming at that, it's not a playful environment. It's more like, what do you got for me? That's the feeling you got.
Yeah,
It's
what
like,
can I get?
Yeah, it's like, are you worthy of me? But then at the same time, I think like maybe that type of person is just not attracted to me in general, because then I'm really quick to decide whether I can have fun with this person or not. And if they're not interesting immediately, I'm just like, okay, I see where you're at, where your mind is at, and I can smell the insecurity or whatever's going on. Whereas other people might be more patient, right? Where they're going through these activities, and then maybe she'll be like, can you buy me dinner? And then he's like, yeah, sure. And then he's like, wait, I thought we had a relationship going on. She goes, no, I just wanted dinner. And he's like, oh, fuck you then, right?
Really?
Like there's situations like that where I've seen straight up right in front of me, and this has on a smaller scale has happened to me, but with my friends where we're just in a group, like maybe double dating or whatever, and the new girl that they're with, they'll see something and be like, oh, that's so cool, you're gonna buy that for me someday? Just straight up.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, ooh. But they're acting like that because simps do buy shit for them.
That's
so
true,
that's
yeah,
not
yeah.
her fault either.
Placing expectations is
Yeah.
expectation. And you're just looking at it or operating it from a different angle, right? So I don't know. I think for those who actually want to find somebody and build a life with somebody and be intentional, I think it's really hard right now to do that. I think there's a lot of people who are in the convenience. What can I get out of this? What can you do for me? And to fill a void too. A lot of people are just filling voids.
So if you wanted a long-term relationship, you never tried that in a small town?
By the way, that's white supremacy.
Yeah. Thanks for the racist approach.
But the funny thing is, like, I feel like small country, small town, not major city, people are getting married in their early 20s.
Yeah,
and
that's
having,
true.
It's
Yeah.
just different, right? That's a different lifestyle. Most of my friends, and even if they are long-term relationship friends, like, they don't get married until they're mid to late 30s. They don't start trying to have kids until they're mid to late 30s. Like, and these are from people who are relationship type people. I just think the big city, you
That's
kind of
right.
push it off.
I think there's a process to it too. I think people also go into, we're dating. As soon as we start talking, we're dating. I think there's a talking phase of like, who are you? Do I even like you as a person before I even want to consider dating you? Let alone then getting into a relationship with you, then getting serious with you, right? I think people just go, just because we're talking, or we ate somewhere one time and we split the bill or something, we're dating. It's just like, no, that's just not what it is.
There's also a stigma against like going into the friendship phase because I think it's immediately friend zone. But my opinion is you actually have to become friends first.
That's true.
Before you categorize.
You have so
what
much
the next
more
one is.
possibilities.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, first we're friends, like we're people that just are enjoyable together before we figure out if we're best friends or if we're gonna be romantic or if we're gonna just be we're just rock climbing buddies or like I feel like when people they're so scared of that they're like I just want to get to the fucking and then they want to like just skip like this whole like getting to know.
When you buy a house, you walk through it first, right?
Yeah, you want to walk through them girls.
You imagine yourself there.
Yeah. Fuck the couch. Yeah.
Same shit.
Anthony,
This is a 4-bedroom.
But that goes back to dating with intention, right? Dating with the fact of like, I know what I want, I know what I'm looking for in somebody, and I'm willing to play the long game in hopes of finding something substantial with depth.
One of my buddies, he was on the apps and he was saying on his side, it just feels like because you could just find another date to go through.
It's that dopamine.
It's like when you watch Netflix and you're just like, I don't know what to watch, and you're like, oh, that's a good movie, and you just keep going and you just never find anything.
Yeah.
Like it's because it's so like it's almost too accessible to the point where it doesn't really mean anything if you go on a date with somebody and be like, well, I didn't really like them. Oh well, I have 3 other dates.
It's like hitting a buzzer, and it's like, okay.
Next.
Or like disagreements now are now red flags.
It's
Which
so
I think
true.
that's a huge
true.
problem too, because then it's like, okay, well now we're disagreeing. Okay, well, therefore it's a red flag. We're gonna toss this person out, and I'm just gonna go find the next person. So now you're not even getting through the process of truly knowing this person
Oh, they're toxic because they don't agree with
because
everything.
they don't agree with my right.
Well, now, yeah.
Your partner's not gonna agree with everything.
Especially now that politics are so ingrained.
20 years later.
Yeah, seriously.
People are just like, there's a lack of standard of chivalry, of being a gentleman, of being a lady, and then also just basic communication skills, just basic skills of getting to know somebody, friendship skills. I think like honestly, people in general have kind of lost their mind, which in turn turn the dating pool into kind of a clusterfuck.
Well, honestly, too, like sometimes people just don't realize, like women, I think do such a good job of being a mommy for me that like,
Mommy?
yeah, that I get excited about it.
Yeah.
What?
Love it. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you a video right now, and you tell me how wet it gets you out of 10.
What?
Is that I told you to come at 2 p.m. and you came at 2:04.
No fucking way.
I'm not used to this kind of delay.
Sounds like me, dude.
For me, it's not possible, huh?
Oh, he's showing her who's the boss.
I would get up and leave.
Showing up on time.
What is he, German? Oh, they don't fuck around with time though. When you're 4 minutes late on a German, that's like being 2 hours.
That's a good accent. That's a very.
But also, like, what if she texted him, "Hey, I'm running a few minutes late."
4 minutes late.
Like 4 minutes late? That's ridiculous.
A lot of late.
But you don't understand Germans though.
That's late times 4.
4 minutes late to them it's so bad.
So bad.
It's so bad.
Dude,
You're
imagine
just
being on a
sitting there.
date with this chick and like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's been 4
Are
minutes.
you stupid? Do you not know how to tell
The
time?
whole time during their lunch, he's just talking about that for the next 30
exactly.
minutes.
And then he's like, so we doing this again? What's going on? Like,
Yeah.
you didn't text me
I had
back.
a really great time.
So the statistic about 50% of marriages turn into divorces, right?
Yeah.
It's actually not true the way that you see it. It's not brand new marriages, first time marriages.
It's people who've been married. For
Really?
a while.
Most of that is people on their second or third, or it's multiple.
what the
So it's actually I was losing hope because I was thinking, damn, so many divorces every year.
Got it.
But what it is it's people that constantly fail in marriages that are constantly divorcing.
So it's like one guy can have 5 divorces.
It's a pull on people who are constantly being failed marriages.
No, they're just saying the divorce rate. They're saying that the divorce rate is 50%, right?
Yeah.
So they're just looking at the number of
When you look
divorces.
a little bit deeper, you're like, oh, wait, this
When
guy
you look
had
deeper,
3 other divorces.
you break it down.
There's so many more new jobs, but people are working more.
So it's actually a very small number.
People that are like, oh, okay, this is a vast
Yeah.
majority of that poll
The data
number
is
that
deeper.
has that.
Yeah, so it's like if you think about the first time people are divorcing, it's actually very, very small. And out of that group, if they're remarrying, they add to the divorce rate because they're just looking at how many divorces happen every year.
Yeah.
And then so like that made me go, wait, so the majority is still relationships that work out. Yeah. And so I had this whole mentality of like, well, if half of the statistics is everyone ends up in divorce, and that means like it's really hard. Well, I mean, it is hard, but then it's like that just tells me that where's the hope in marriage and things like that when you hear stupid stats like that.
True.
But it's actually not the majority.
Where's the hope in dating?
Hey,
Let's start
if
there.
you could look in that camera and just talk to 10 of the last dudes you dated,
Right.
what's some advice you would give them?
Oh yeah, what would you tell him?
Consistency and effort. That's a huge thing. Doesn't play
As in how, like consistency as in how, like.
like your word is your bond, right? At least mine is. That's like one of my principles. So maybe not.
I can lie.
You know, fuck
Don't be 4 minutes late.
No, please, I'm kidding.
No, please start.
Yeah.
Effort in just even the smallest things. Like it doesn't need to be like a big gift giving situation. It just needs to be like you remembered I said something.
They show that you care.
You show that
You're
you care.
listening.
You listened. And then consistency in your character. Like don't let that switch up too much over time.
So you think they're playing like a role that they think you would
I think
like?
a lot of people in the dating pool
Really good first act.
they put on an impression or they morph into a person that they think that you like.
Oh, jeez.
And that's really easy to sniff out.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and it's like you're more agreeable, but now you're just unsexy now.
Yes.
Versus, you'd rather be someone that's slightly more disagreeable, but this guy has cojones, and I'm actually
Yeah,
this
I
is
can
smart.
respect that
Disagree
you
with
have
me.
different opinions.
Have a take, don't suck. Like,
Yeah.
have a fucking opinion.
Have a good take.
Yeah, true. Yeah. You know what's an interesting feeling too? You know, like the you know those game shows where they go, hey, you can win this, or you can have what's behind door number 2.
It's like door number 2, door number 2.
It's dating now, like, cause like you know the feeling when you go to a new school or you're in a new improv group, it's like everyone's dateable. And then you start to get to know people. You're like, actually, no, I wouldn't date you. I wouldn't date you. And then you figure out like which ones are kind of your thing. Now it's like you're perpetually at a fucking buffet.
Yeah.
Because everything's literally within reach, and it must be kind of like overwhelming.
Screener.
Yeah, because everyone you date is like, ugh, if I commit with her, then I might miss out on some other shit.
You look at all the negatives before.
Also,
you
I think people just don't know how to deal with challenges or problems anymore.
It's all red
people-
flags.
Yeah,
It's all just warning
like, oh,
signs.
that's a red flag, or you have a lot of trauma, or like you're projecting.
It's like, yeah, everybody does.
Everybody, we're all human. We all have
And then
shit that we're working through.
once you've actually been in a long-term relationship, you realize that some of the biggest maybe disagreements that you're able to fix and heal has now become one of the biggest like backbones of who
For
you
real.
knew.
And you did it together though too,
The
right?
depth that you can build
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
If you give yourself the chance. But
Yeah.
so many people just can't wait for door number 2.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. Somebody who's in the same place mentally and is willing to put in the effort and consistency to find that.
And they got that good dick, huh?
Yeah.
If that's you, email Kalyne at jknews.
At Lionheart.
Oh, no, that's business, baby. That's business. We don't do it.
Send your application.
What if they send in like, Kalyne, well, the other parts I'm working on, but the good dick part, I kind of got it.
classes.
What if
No,
you got, what
that's
if
not
some sample
enough. That's
video?
not enough.
Subject line?
I've had good dick, and everything else kind of was like mid, and I was like, all right, I'm out.
What if something?
Anticlimactic.
Good dick and good mouth.
He had a whole existential crisis. He's like, I thought my dick was good, and I was like, it's not.
Wow.
What if the subject line says says good dick but with 27 U's?
27
Are you 27 U's for
Yeah.
between G and D? There's 27 U's.
Oh, shit.
Good,
Are
yeah,
you, do you open it or do you skip?
if he doesn't put 3 eyes in dick, then I will open.
Good dude.
That's how I know you'll take the guy with flaws. Who maybe can't read or write.
Listen, I have.
A bunch of equal signs and a big D at the end.
See? Fresh and fit. She's not looking for some perfect guy. She'll take a guy who can't even
No,
fucking write.
I want a guy with like
Chill.
at least $500,000 a
that's
year,
Let's go.
and
What else?
he needs to be like an alpha.
Yeah.
And he
He
likes
needs to be a
designer.
high value man.
He needs to be at least 6'9".
And he has to play. He has to play for the Phoenix Suns.
Like we don't, no short guys.
Yeah, no short guys.
No short guys.
No short kings.
You know what's funny is like I see them on social media. I never fucking run into these people. Where do they exist?
Yeah, I never. The crazy, like people that speak crazy like that.
Yeah. Like where are these fuckers?
The girls that ask for that, the standards,
Like I don't hear girls at like I don't know the gym fucking going.
at the fucking club.
Where's the 6'9" dudes that make $500,000 a year? Like, I don't-
Blurb.
I knew an actor chick like that, but it was just one chick. But she was definitely like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
In entertainment, yeah, if you really ask them. But then the ones who really feel that way are afraid to say it too.